Hello and welcome to another episode of the Daily Chat Podcast, where we talk about all things awesome and nerdy. Guys, normally I like to have a new guest come on whenever we talk about a topic again for the second time, but Tom Whalen's joining us today. Tom, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
Hey, not much, dude. So listen, you just got back from E3 a little bit ago, and this was a big deal because this was the first time E3 was open to the public.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It was crazy. I think tickets ended up getting up to $1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
For 3 days, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I don't have $1,000 for 3 days.
Well, definitely not. I actually lucked out, so I not only went there, but I actually went there and got paid to be there.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I was contracting for Ubisoft.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which Ubisoft is a great company. I've loved many Ubisoft games, growing up.
Okay. We're
talking all the Splinter Cells, Double Agent, Chaos Theory, some of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. Did you ever play?
You know what? I actually think the most underrated Ubisoft franchise is, and I really wish it would make a comeback in its form of glory, which would be the Brothers in Arms franchise.
I don't know if I ever played Brothers in Arms.
It was like one of the last, remember back in the early 2000s, late 90s, when every first-person shooter game took place in World War II?
Yes.
It was one of those.
You know what? Maybe I did. That's actually, I think one time my dad bought me a video game for my birthday.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was Brothers in Arms, now that I'm thinking of it. Brothers in Arms 2, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. The first two were great. The third
one... And then Call of Duty started coming out.
Yeah, and then Call of Duty just started mopping the floor with everything.
Yeah, and then Battlefield was I don't know. I still don't think Battlefield... I know the physics the physics are better in Battlefield, but I still think Call of Duty's a superior game.
Well, you know what my thing is with the two games... Well, first off, I've made this clear. I'm more of a Halo boy than those other two franchises.
Oh, we're all Halo boys.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but okay.
We're Halo boys.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, the other thing, though, too, is it's... I appreciate the old school arcadiness that comes with Call of Duty more than the realism. But
I'm the same way.
But you were actually just talking about the new Assassin's Creed game a little bit before we were just started recording.
Yeah. So that was so what happened was working with Ubisoft. Basically, they had 6 games that they were trying to debut, and let people play. And we won Best Booth. But we were having tournaments and everything. But I ended up working Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is the newest.
Okay.
Isn't out yet. I think it's coming out in October. But it's going to be, any of you guys that are Assassin's Creed fans, there are going to be some big changes. There's going to be some stuff that might make you a little uncomfortable about the changes. But it's really a great game.
Okay.
The fighting engine's better. I'd say, okay, so Arkham Asylum and the Arkham franchises, Arkham Knight, the fighting is a lot more similar to that.
Okay, because I noticed that a lot of those open world games are going more in that direction with their combat system. It looks almost like the Spider-Man game that's coming out, which by the way, if there's any reason I want to buy a PlayStation 4,
it's for Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan in general, and this honestly looks like it's going to be the first truly awesome Spider-Man game to come out since Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 was an incredible game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so the fighting is a little bit more you can string combos together really nicely. There are no hidden blades.
There are no hidden blades?
There are no hidden blades in this one, yeah.
That was that's the game signature weapon. That's kind of having, to me, that almost sounds like having Mortal Kombat without the fatalities. Which did happen one time, and that was awful when it did.
Which one was that?
I mean, technically it didn't happen, but it was DC versus Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's kind of to me, that was just one of those things where, they didn't want Batman snapping somebody's neck. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
Just let him do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantasy. He's fighting for his life right now.
Exactly. And In fact, if I can recall correctly in that game, the first person you fight as Batman is against Scorpion. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's kind of like you're fighting an undead ninja. Like, come on.
And he's gonna take no mercy on
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. But
yeah, he's gonna put those things right through your head.
Yeah, but no hidden blade.
No hidden blade. So that's gonna make people a little uncomfortable about the game. But it's great. It takes place in ancient Greece.
Okay, so they're going further back now with this order.
Yeah, you go. No, okay, so, technically Origins was the pyramids.
Yeah, now the Greeks are like the next.
The Greeks are like the next, it's like, probably, I don't know, probably 1200.
I wouldn't be surprised if it actually
800.
Maybe it leads into the Ides of March where they kill Caesar.
Well,
they kill Julius.
Well, we do have Socrates in this game.
Okay,
you get to and Plato and all those guys. They're going to be integral parts of the quests. Okay, and there's just like I'm trying to think what. Okay, so they took all the best parts of Black Flag and they put it in. The naval battle in this is pretty incredible.
Okay.
It's super like the physics of the boating is better than any boat game, and also just to bring up, Ubisoft is also coming out with Skull and Bones, which is a naval battle game.
So is that going to be like all pirates?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's multiplayer. The one thing that I wish Assassin's Creed was multiplayer.
They tried that a couple times.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They tried it. They tried
3?
it in like
4.
Yeah, I think 3 had its own multiplayer, and I think 4 did too. Like it did for a couple incarnations, and it wasn't the worst idea. It's like basically you would go to them. They would load up a map, and you have 5 players would have the option to pick one of 5 different skins.
Sure.
And on the map there were NPCs with the same skin. So basically, what you had to do was, like, there was one game type where they would give you a target. So it's like, say, for example, if your skin was the Butcher, the game would say, okay, your next target is you need to find the player that's running around as the Courtesan.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
Which, in all honesty, for that type of game, I think that was the only way you could do multiplayer.
Well, I'll tell you how I think you could do it. So remember how earlier I was talking about Splinter Cell?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Do you remember how they did multiplayer?
It was co-op mostly, right?
No, it wasn't. So what happened was, it was 2 versus 2.
Okay.
And so what you would do is you would have 2 basically assassins or 2, whatever, I don't know, I can't remember, spies, I don't know. Yeah, spies, I think.
Yeah.
You'd have 2 spies, and you would then have 2 mercs. And the mercenaries, they had guns, right? The spies, all they had were a stun gun, smoke grenades, stun grenades, and you had to go up behind them and choke them.
Okay.
So it was like, well, yeah, one character has guns, but the other has the stealth. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
So it sounds kind of like similar to the multiplayer for. Do you remember when Arkham? I want to say it was Arkham Origins try their hands in multiplayer.
I didn't play that one.
Yeah, it was an interesting idea. Basically, you played of one of 3 factions. You either played as Bane's gang, the Joker's gang, and both those guys, they were the ones running around wielding AK-47s and stuff like that.
Right.
Or you and just one other guy would play as the dynamic duo. And basically, and honestly, again, this is one of those things where I don't see how you could have made this multiplayer work in any other way. But basically, the idea was Joker's gang and Bane's gang, they were in a turf war, and it was up to Batman and Robin to stop them. Now, when you played as either Bane or Joker's crew, you had the guns. You didn't. But if you played as the dynamic duo, you had to rely on stealth, like
gadgets.
Like the game was fixed so that way. And this is where I think the multiplayer stunk in this regards, where I understand that Batman and Robin can't you had to take them out stealthily. Like, you had to, either, your options weren't just, coming up from behind them. You could, drop down on them. Or if you...
Well, it was the same with Splinter Cell.
Yeah, or, if you hit them with a flashbang. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of the same thing. But it's, to me, it was, the problem was, though, if either one of the gangsters saw you, you couldn't attack, which I didn't like, per se, just because Like, I get the idea that you can only take them down from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to sneak up. But at the very least, let me throw a batarang or whatever so I can get away.
Sure, yeah. And well, that's what, in that Splinter Cell game, you could use that stun gun. You could, like, shoot them.
Exactly.
It wouldn't kill them, but it would just make them...
Yeah, I think
like,
you could do something similar
2 seconds
in Batman,
2 seconds of them stopping where you can get out. But, you know, like, I just think that that's a great... I wish that they would bring that multiplayer back. I guess the last Splinter Cell that came out... one of the guys that developed this Assassin's Creed game worked on the last one. He worked on the multiplayer for it. And I told him, he was like, what are your favorite games? I was like, I love the Splinter Cell franchise. He was like, did you play the last one? And I was like, there was another one? And he was like, yeah, it came out right when Xbox 360 switched to Xbox One, and we didn't release it for Xbox One. So they released a whole game that no one played.
Oh, yeah?
You know?
Because it sounds kind of like what happened with Conker's Bad Fur Day, if you want to go all the way back.
Yeah, we're talking at N64, right?
That was like that game pretty much came out on like a Monday, and then by Tuesday, Nintendo was making the switch from N64 to GameCube.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened. Like, in all honesty, if we're going to get all retro here, I've never played Conker's Bad Fur Day, and it seems like a game that I would have loved to play just because of the joke.
It's funny. I played that game. I used to play that game through.
I mean, how many other games can you say you fought a giant pile of shit?
Yeah.
Literally.
Dude, it was funny because, like, oh, man, there's something about video games that just brings people together. Like, it's funny that you bring up Conker's Bad Fur Day. The guy that I used to play Splinter Cell with, my multiplayer buddy.
Right.
We would play Conker's Bad Fur Day on Xbox 360 as a classic and just sit in party mode and talk and just play the game.
Right,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a great game. So funny and just like, you know.
Right. I never played the 360 version of that game because I heard they censored it up and cut pieces out.
They censored a little bit, you know, but it was still funny. It was still like, you still knew what they were doing. You just did, you know, it maybe wasn't as in your face, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So at any rate, moving on though, I mean, we're here to mainly just to talk about
E3.
E3, yeah. I mean, what was your experience like at E3?
I'll try to paint it for you. I mean, it was just a mass, just a mob of people. I think we had like 75,000 people over 3 days.
Okay.
And it took place at the giant LA Convention Center, and you know, you walked in and it was like just the aesthetics of this place were incredible.
Right.
You know, it was like being in a dream. And, you know, a couple booths that really stood out to me. The Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Right.
That was a pretty crazy one. But Fortnite,
that game has just completely and utterly taken over the world.
Dude, think about it this way. There are, I think, something crazy like 20 million people that downloaded that game.
Yeah.
Okay? Out of that percentage, I would say comfortably, a quarter of them paid for it.
Yeah.
So for a free game, they're getting about as rich as anybody in video games right now.
Right. And what drives me crazy about this, or what shocks me the most about this, is because this is actually this game is made by a AAA developer.
Yeah.
It's made by Epic, who has made such classic games as like Gears of War. Mm-hmm. They've made the what was the one, the Unreal Tournament,
yep.
And because of that they created the Unreal Engine, which
a lot of games
every other game company like rents that out from them. So
yeah.
like at the very, like if they're not making money off of games, they're making money off that engine.
Sure.
So,
yeah, 100%.
So for them to come out with a free game is insane. It'd just be like if Nintendo. The only other thing I could think of that would be more ridiculous than that is if Nintendo said the next Super Mario game is going to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be insane.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it's just like, you know, it isn't play to win, which is great. You know, it's you don't get any better by buying anything.
Right.
But it's just there are kids out there that are spending $300 a month on this game, just buying skins and buying points and buying, you know, whatever.
Right.
But so that was a huge booth. Like, you know, they had a battle bus. They had everything, just like all the buildings. It was incredible. But also another great one, and I'm surprised we won Best Booth because this booth was sick. Bethesda. And I was excited for Bethesda before I got there. And then they were stationed right next to us at Ubisoft, and they had a whole vault built out. They had actors walking around as vault people. They had the new Elder Scrolls online, the new Elder Scrolls on the phone. It was incredible. Yeah, it was a great booth. But yeah, Jurassic Park. They built out a whole Jurassic Park.
There's a Jurassic Park game coming out?
There's a new Jurassic Park game coming out.
What? I didn't see the trailer for that one. When is that coming out?
It looks pretty incredible. My guess is it's going to be anywhere between October and December.
Oh, so it's coming out this year.
It's coming out this year. It's going to be, I think, available for when they do the new... Did the new movie...
The movie came out like last weekend or this
maybe
weekend.
It's coming out sooner. I don't know. But yeah, take a look. See when it may be coming out. But that was a pretty great exhibit. I was lucky. We were in the cooler room, I think. We had, like, all of the cool stuff.
Yeah, hold on. Jurassic Park video game 2018, because I'm going to be completely and utterly honest with you guys when I say this. I think I've said this on the podcast before, but I really think Jurassic Park is a franchise that just should have just stopped after the first movie. But
yeah,
that's just me.
There's a lot of movies like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else Bethesda is coming out with?
What?
Rage 2.
Rage 2?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the first Rage.
Well, the first Rage was really good. It was like it was a pretty brutal game, but it was similar to like Borderlands.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like Rage 2 is going to be incredible. So does it give you a time here on this?
Jurassic World. Well, it says 2018.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere between October and December.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
I mean, of course, the T-Rex is in it. Eat him. Eat that motherfucker.
Well, if the T-Rex wasn't in it, it wouldn't be Jurassic Park.
Right. Remember the one time they tried to make the T-Rex not the main dinosaur?
When they did the other thing, the T-Rex, like, mixed with Raptor?
Yeah. Oh, so this looks going to be like this.
Oh, it's like StarCraft.
It looks like The Sims, almost.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be a...
it's going to be like a world builder game.
RPS. Or RTS.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
No.
Nice.
Build your own Jurassic World. Okay, you know
what?
what?
So it's a build your own thing. So that's cool. I mean, I'm not, a big builder type of guy, building games. Although I do love StarCraft. I loved Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Command and Conquer?
I did a few times. Unfortunately, I played my strongest experience with RTSs are Command and Conquer 64 and the 2 Halo Wars games, which all came out on console.
Yeah.
And from what everybody tells me, if you're playing an RTS on a console, you're not doing it right.
You gotta be a PC.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's really no way. It's just like hotkeys are so... Like, when guys get really good at those RTS games, StarCraft, whatever, I think StarCraft is probably the one that has most competitive...
they treat... in I think it's like South Korea, they treat StarCraft... Like, it is their football. Like, it is their... Yeah, it's their big number one thing most watched.
I mean, it's when you get good at StarCraft, it's like you're watching a real war,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I love StarCraft. But you need the hotkeys. You need to be able to be like, select all troops. You need to be able to...
And it's not that honestly, like, Halo Wars definitely did try to hotkey everything like that. And I don't want to say they did a terrible job with it. It's just... scrolling around the map more than anything is the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to... Because you really do... Because a mouse just moves across the screen so much faster.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Than a thumbstick.
Well, that's like some people play Fortnite cross-platform, and people that play on PC are, like, insane.
Right.
Just because it's easier to... Like, when you have a mouse, it's very little movement. Like, you can focus, your whole right hand, you know.
Right, exactly.
It's so... But yeah, so... I don't know if I'm too excited for that Jurassic Park, but the E3 exhibit was sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say the game that you saw that you were the most excited for at E3?
So I'm going to disclude all of the Ubisoft games, but I'll say other than the Ubisoft game... Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to. Okay, Starlink Battle for Atlas looks like it's going to be sick. They added Star Fox. So they brought back Star Fox in this game. You're going to be able to... So
which game is this? The new...
It's called Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Starlink Battle for Atlas?
And what it is when you buy the game, it comes with, very similar to Skylanders, it comes with a toy.
Okay. Because I thought that type of gameplay. Oh, sorry, hold on. Yeah, I thought that type of gameplay was going the way of the dodo.
Well, it was, because a lot of those games were basically like, you can't win this game if you don't buy.
Yeah, and that to me, we can get into this a little bit later, but I mean, that to me is almost as insulting as just any kind of paywall. I mean, it's basically the same thing as a paywall, only worse because you actually have to go somewhere to get it.
Right, but you have to. But like the other thing, I know, right? You can't just order it online.
Well, you can, but then you'd have to wait.
Right, or you can't just order it like in the
you can't
Xbox Marketplace. Yeah,
exactly.
But what was I gonna say? But you can beat the whole game with your first character. There's no. It's just funner to use other weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so Star Fox, they unveiled at E3 that Star Fox was going to be in the game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That was really cool. I'm excited.
Like wait, Star Fox as in like from Nintendo Star Fox?
Yeah.
What game is this again?
Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Starlink
Battle for Atlas.
Battle for Atlas. Hold on, let me check this one out.
See right there, Star Fox, see?
That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, the only thing, I always say, I'm an online guy.
Yeah.
So until I know that I can play competitively.
Yeah. You see, for me, here's the thing with games. It's like, if you're going to make a game that's strictly multiplayer, i.e. Overwatch or something like that,
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. But if you're going to have a campaign, don't half-ass it at all. Which is, to me personally, has always been my problem with the Call of Duty campaigns, is just because I feel like, I mean, yeah, I get it. Multiplayer is their baby.
Yeah.
Like, that's their big thing. That's the main thing they want to focus on.
Yeah.
Fine, but, like, I don't know. I feel like since Modern Warfare 2, and this is like, that game came out, 13 years ago?
Yeah, probably 2006.
Yeah, something like that. I don't think they've done that great a job of making good campaigns. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Listen, I'm not a campaign guy. I don't play campaigns.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's not enough time in the day for me to play online, because the online is what makes me happy.
Oh, yeah.
The pleasure chemicals they get from winning a game.
Oh, yeah.
And getting a bunch of kills.
It's the best way for nerds to get their competitive outlet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a competitive guy.
Yeah, me too.
I have a need to compete. And so what am I going to spend 60 hours playing the campaign and that, no, I'm going to play multiplayer.
Right.
But I'll tell you what game did it right.
What?
Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5. Okay.
Far Cry 5, what they did was they spent probably 95% of their time and efforts on campaign.
Okay.
And it was a fun campaign. I enjoyed it. Lots of unlockables and there's weekly events that you can do to earn weapons that other people don't have, sort of thing.
Okay.
But multiplayer, what they did was all they did was make a map editor and a game editor.
Okay.
For multiplayer. So they're all user created.
All right.
So they didn't have to spend time creating 15 maps. They just said, let's create a map creator, make it super easy and in depth, and then other people can do it. Because what's the trend that we're going on in video games right now? Building and creating.
Right, exactly. I mean, it all kind of started with Minecraft. I mean,
Minecraft,
Actually, if you want to be technical about it, the first game I remember trying to experiment with something like this was actually Halo 3.
I do remember that. Forge.
Yeah, I remember. And they still include Forge in all game types.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's just my problem with Forge is as the games have gone on, they have progressively used it less, at least in some of like the more if you end up seeing a Forge made map by a creator, not by a creator, by a player in Halo, you more often see it in either something like Fiesta mode, which is just like everyone spawns with random weapons.
Yeah.
It's all like, oh my god, like how am I supposed to? This game is so crazy. I just spawned with 2 plasma pistols.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? So it's like, or like just basically like the sillier types, and then, but if you see Forge now, like you only see like the ones the creators use it for, which fine, whatever. Like I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm just simply saying I would like to see more maps made by players showing up in like ranked matches and things like that.
Well, yeah. But so Far Cry didn't have any ranked matches. It was all, and I get where if you start doing ranked stuff, if you start having like a system where like, Halo, they did have,
they still do
professional gaming, and so you got to do those on developer created maps.
Right, exactly. Oh, no, I get that at all. No, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, it would just be nice and fresher to see, like, a new map pop up every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. That's what Fortnite does great.
That is what Fortnite does
every
well.
week, something changes. They change the map in some way.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, even in Halo, like, once, maybe not every week, but maybe once every, like, 3 months or so, they'll change the map around some way, somehow, like, for example, like, you'll play one map in, like, September.
Yeah.
And, like, in this one particular spot of the map, there's a sniper rifle.
Sure.
But now, all of a sudden, like, 2 months later, you're back on the very same map, and now where there was a sniper rifle, there is a rocket launcher.
Yeah, sure.
And stuff like that changes the game around completely.
It really does, because, I think video games are about habits. Like, good video game players when they spawn in this place, they know I'm going to go up here, I'm going to get this gun.
Exactly.
I'm going to go here, there should be this here, and then there'll be a lot of guys over here.
Exactly. And I think now that is like one of the benefits that of this era we live in with the internet is it helps keep the games fresher in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And freshness with the attention span that we all have nowadays is super important. That's why.
I'm sorry, what were you talking about again?
Yeah, right. I'm telling you though, Fortnite is killing it.
No, Fortnite is crushing it.
It's a good game. It's not like my roommate thinks it's like the best game that's ever been played. And I get where, especially because if you like survival games, it's
right.
I mean, this battle royale format is getting huge.
It is.
Everybody's trying to make it.
Everyone's, yeah, exactly. I mean, like what is it, like, Overwatch is still kicking ass, and that game came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, they just came out with a new character in Overwatch like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And it's...
Well, and I think soon enough Fortnite will start making new maps.
Right.
Like, the map is cool that they use, but, like, it would be cool if they created maybe, like, a huge city. Like a New York City where it's like a concrete jungle. And it's not like, it's not like, this is like a big island of just grass and little towns.
Right.
It would be cool maybe if they created like a New York City or something.
Can I actually say one thing though? And I'm in total agreement with you on this one.
Sure.
Because like you could still have, because I know some people might say, well, you won't have huge gaps or whatever. Like, like in the woods. I'm like, no, New York City has Central Park and things like that.
Exactly.
So yeah, you could, so it just basically what you're saying is you just want a new map to pretty much be the reverse of the current map.
Yeah, and like, maybe some people are better at urban warfare. Like, you know what I mean? Some people are better at,
I like maps where you can, like, I mean, you and I are a little different. You saying you like to go when guns ablaze, and I'm kind of more, like when I play Halo and Call of Duty and things like that, I don't necessarily want to say I separate myself from the pack entirely. It's just I like to get around the enemy and flank.
Sure, well,
that's my main
but that's what I do. The second I think I can make them nervous. So, like, if you're playing Fortnite, you get one life. This is why it's great. So you get one life, so you're really focused on not dying.
Right.
You're like, oh, I don't want to start this game again. I'm already in the top 10. I don't want to die,
Right, exactly.
So, like, when you don't want to die, when you care about, like, saving your life, you're going to get anxious if I shoot you and then start running at you.
Right, exactly.
Where it's like, you know what I mean? So I want to make you nervous.
Right, exactly.
That's what I like to do. But I guess it's maybe not sometimes as smart as just waiting until you have that perfect shot and you sneak up behind them and just
Right,
bang.
exactly.
But I also don't like hiding. I don't like, I like aggressing the game. Like I said, I like acting, not reacting.
Right, exactly.
I feel like when you're hiding in Fortnite and you're stealth, you're reacting. You're like, oh, okay, someone's going to walk this, you know what I mean? Like,
right, I get it.
I want to wait. Yeah. Or I don't want to wait.
Yeah, no, I get impatient too. Like, it's camping.
Yeah.
It's just camping. That's all it is. And I am of the old school mindset of the only time I will give a pass to campers is if they have a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Assholes that hide behind corners with shotguns can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
They can do it. They can go fuck themselves. But it's okay when I do it.
I know, right? That's how it always is, though.
Exactly.
It's like people who used to use the noob combo.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like whenever you saw a plasma pistol and an assault rifle, you were like, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, exactly.
But, so anyway, so go back to your question. So I'm excited for, and I was impressed by Starlink.
Okay.
I'm excited for the new Trials game. There's a new Trials game where it's going to be multiplayer. You're going to be able to race in this one.
Okay.
Which is super cool to me, instead of just like ghosts. You know how you would have like ghost old players. Also, super excited for Fallout 76. I think it's going to be incredible. It's a whole new type of game. It's going to be online.
Okay. Oh.
So, yeah. So, it's going to be big. So, basically, what's going to happen is, it's going to be the same as Fallout, where you have missions to do. You can upgrade your character, all that. But they'll be dropping in. So, there will be NPCs.
Okay.
And then there will be players.
Okay, so you know what it sounds like they're trying to do?
Like Elder Scrolls Online?
Elder Scrolls Online. I was actually going to say something more along the lines of Destiny, only better.
Way better, I think.
Only, because, I don't know, did you ever play Destiny?
Yeah, but I couldn't get into it.
You see, for me, my problem with Destiny, and this is going to tie into something else I want to talk about in a second, is Anthem. My problem with Destiny was it was too much of a grind. Like, for example, there was one particular weapon I wanted to get, and I had to, and it was only available within this particular guild. So in order for me to get this gun, not only did I have to reach level 15 within this guild, but then I also had to go in the multiplayer and do 3 matches in a row where I got 9 double kills or something like that. And I'm like, no, this is just too, I get the idea of working. There's such a thing as
grinding.
It's one of those. It's kind of like diminishing returns, I guess you could say, on your work, just because it's okay, why the hell would I want to spend all this time just to get this particular gun?
Sure.
When if I can just go into the main map of the game and then possibly find a better gun.
Well, and also there's just kids out there that can spend money.
Yeah, exactly. I know,
and get stuff, and that's annoying.
I hate pay to win. I hate microtransactions.
Because that's the thing where their argument to you would be, well, if you don't want to grind, you can purchase.
Right. But it's, and we saw this happen, and this is why I'm wary about Anthem, because it's also being published by EA, or published by EA, and they don't
Anthem. What is Anthem?
Anthem is essentially just another version of Destiny. The biggest differences are, number one, it's third person.
Okay.
And number two, instead of your main mode of transportation being like that speeder bike or whatever it was, that hover bike, everyone has their own exo armor. So in other words, everyone's Iron Man.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where this MCU fan that I am is just oh my god, I'm going to get so many different types of armor and just paint them hot rod red and gold, so I look like Tony Stark the whole time.
Yeah.
But then there's also that part of me of EA, what they just did, how they completely nerdily botched the last Battlefield game, which from what everybody tells me would have been an absolutely beautifully and amazing game were it not for their evil paywalls. Which is a podcast we could probably do an entire episode about.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that, like I just said,
you're saying Battlefront, not Battlefield.
Battlefront, that's what I meant. Yeah. You know what I meant. That's the one I meant.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, the last Star Wars game.
Yeah.
There's that, and there's also the fact that, it's just when it comes to open world games and stuff like that, it's not that I hate them at all. I do like them. They're great. It's just sometimes my patience just runs thin because there's so many fetch quests, and there's just so much hiking to do sometimes I'll play Fallout and I'll walk around for 5-10 minutes and nothing will jump out at me.
Well, no, but Fallout, okay, it's like real life.
I get it.
The reason I like RPGs is because they're like real life and they try to mimic real life, where it's if you're going through your life and you don't see any enemies, you're going the wrong way.
Exactly.
You want to be so that's what I like about Fallout. It's okay, I haven't seen anybody in a while. I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Right.
But anyways, I think bringing this online aspect to it is going to make it so you're never, there are no dull moments, because there's always going to be a guy hunting you.
And I'm assuming there's going to be PvP and stuff like that.
Oh, there would definitely be PvP, and there's definitely going to be
co-op missions.
Sure,
and things like that.
I mean, the co-op's going to be probably sick,
Honestly, yeah, it would be, because could you just imagine what it'd be like with you and 3 of your buddies all showing up in that power armor?
Oh yeah,
it'd
be over.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's going to be a phenomenal game. I can't wait. I really can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll actually dip in. Well, I mean, it is an RPG. Everybody already does classes. It's just I wonder if people are gonna like form guilds with their friends. It's like, okay, Tom, you're gonna be the healer.
They will.
Oh, they will. Okay,
cool.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, and the way I saw the gameplay going is that like with abilities trees, you know how they do abilities trees in Fallout, where you have like intelligence all the way, and what you're gonna find is that there's gonna be a talker.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a fighter. There's gonna be a luck guy. You know what I mean? Or maybe one of the guys has full intelligence and full luck. So you have him talk to every NPC,
right? Or full charisma, whatever.
Yeah, charisma. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not intelligent. Yeah. Intelligence and charisma, and exactly. A lot of luck or whatever. Yeah. And then you're gonna have the guy that's super high on strength and super high on speed, and he's gonna be like your fighter. And then you got a guy who
can just build shit. He's gonna be high in intelligence, and he's gonna be high in armory.
Other thing, I think there's going to be a battle royale. They haven't unveiled this, and I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't. Whatever. But I think there's going to be a battle royale game like Fortnite where you can build and play each other,
Okay, that would be sick, because you know what? Here's my thing. When it comes to multiplayer with games like that, and this is where multiplayer in RPGs, I feel, gets a little tricky.
Sure.
It's because, and I saw some of this in in Destiny. Okay. What they'll tend to do is like, you can load up with your own game, but you can load up with your own like weapons that you found in the main game in a multiplayer. But we're going to nerf it so that way everybody's in an even playing field.
Right.
I kind of sort of understand why that happens. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it just makes you feel like, well, what the fuck? I worked all this time just to get this gun and modify this,
and now I can't even,
Yeah, because my problem with that whole... And, okay, so let's backtrack for a second. One of my biggest complaints about Halo Reach when it first came out was after the first month, they lowered the invisible ceiling because there was one map where if you loaded with a jetpack and got the sniper rifle, you could go to this one spot where no one could touch you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, and it's one of those things where like, okay, fine, I get why people are complaining about it, but like, to me, this is war. You take every advantage you can.
Yeah.
And it's not like you were totally invulnerable, because if somebody else with a jetpack got the drop on you with an assault rifle, you were screwed.
Yeah. You could get up there.
Exactly. It wasn't. So that was my thing. So what I'm trying to say is with these kind of games is I understand why there would be a game type where everybody's on a level playing field. But much like the problem I had with the last Injustice game that came out was there wasn't a game type where you had no choice. Whatever you had, whatever they had. Like, it doesn't matter what the statistics were. Yeah. You got to go up against each other. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you could pull something out of your ass. So, like, I like the...
that's where skill comes in.
Exactly. Like, so, for example, like, I like the idea of, say, for example, you and I go up against each other in this new Fallout game. My guy's completely and utterly built up for just getting around the map real fast.
Yeah.
And you have this guy that's completely and utterly meant to, like, just knock down brick walls with his bare fists.
Right.
I like the idea of I can get around you real easily and just slowly chip away at your health, and you might not be able to catch up with me. But if you make connection, I'm screwed.
Well, that's what it is, and it's got to be equal. It's got to be, I almost said separate, but equal. Mm-hmm. No, it's got to be like, checks and balances where, like, your fast guy, he can get around, but he's going to be weak.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
And my guy's slow, but he's going to be strong. But also, I might have a perk that's like, maybe I can disable jetpacks or something, something.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's it. That's how it becomes a chess game. That's how it becomes, I move, what's your move? What's your move? I'm going to move to that. And then that's that, And so, but I'm excited. So I'm definitely excited for that. Super excited for Elder Scrolls 6, I think.
Okay.
It's the one after. So there was Morrowind.
So Bethesda's busy.
They're killing, right?
They're absolutely busy.
No, they're fucking murdering it. And
would you say that they're the number one developer publisher out there? No,
Ubisoft is.
Ubisoft?
Yeah, and it's Ubisoft. It's the people who work for Ubisoft say Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Some people say Ubi, but that's like the nickname Ubi, but like it's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Okay.
They just what they're doing right now is they're making the most beautiful games. Mm-hmm. They're making the most in-depth games.
You see, here's the funny thing, though. You say the most beautiful games because a lot of lists and things like that I see online, the number one thing they seem to be complaining about is sometimes Ubisoft doesn't have the greatest of facial animations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't noticed good or bad, but like what I look at is lighting.
Yeah.
Like when you're on the high seas playing that Assassin's Creed game, it's insane.
Did I say Ubisoft? I meant Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda.
I meant Bethesda.
Oh yeah. Okay. 100%. Oblivion and Skyrim. It's almost funny watching cutscenes. Like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was saying Ubisoft is beautiful, but Bethesda's coming out with such fun games.
Yeah, no, they are. I think they've kind of run the gamut on, at least for the single player campaign, the single player games for the last decade. I want to say that. All
right. How about this? So I'm going to name off the games that each company showed off, and you tell me which one you think is better. Okay. So the first one would be Crew 2.
Okay.
You know Crew, right?
I haven't seen
Crew. It's a racing game.
Okay. You see, I didn't see as much of E3 as you did, so that's the thing.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And then there is so Starlink Battle for Atlas, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Trials, For Honor 2.
Keep going.
What do you? Okay, Skull and Bones.
You see, here's the funny thing. I didn't see a trailer for any one of these games. These are all news to me.
Do you know For Honor?
I know For Honor. I remember when the last game came out, and in all honesty, For Honor was another one of those games where I was looking forward to just because of... I remember playing the demo, and I really liked this idea of gameplay, this almost rock, paper, scissors style of gameplay, of actually having to guess where your enemy was going to attack, so that way you could block it. Are they going to attack high left, low left, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah.
I really, really like that. It's just, as soon as the game came out, I heard nothing but negativity.
Negative things.
Yeah, and it was across the board. The whole idea was this multiplayer sucks because of the way they set up the ping system.
Yeah,
which it's to me, it just became when I heard how they were. I can't remember how they were doing it. I think it was like they weren't going to be the host. Like they were going to pick a particular player in the match to be the host. Which why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly how it worked, but basically
Well, yeah, and then Rainbow Six Siege.
I think I saw the Rainbow Six trailer, actually, yeah.
And then what was the other one? It was Battlefield. What is it? Fuck, I'm blanking here. When you play with your squad. Not company. Anyways, so that, but so what do you?
Let me see this trailer right here. Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Atlas, yeah.
Made by Ubisoft.
Yep. And so it's a giant open world universe setting.
Okay, giant open world.
So you fly to planets.
Okay.
Each planet is the size of, I think they said each planet is the size of, I want to say they said Skyrim. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. And there's 11 planets or something.
Okay, so it sounds like it's going to be what was that game that came out a few years ago that we were supposed to explore, and it turned out to be a massive disappointment. That was
it's exactly
only
like that,
scaled down,
but there's fighting
and a more realistic.
There wasn't fighting in the other one.
When it first, what was it? No Man's Sky.
Yes,
that's the one I'm thinking about. And from what I've understood about No Man's Sky is since that awful release. They've patched it up a lot so that way it's better, and there actually is air-to-air
battle.
Yeah, there is air-to-air combat now. But to me, it's one of those things where if you didn't, I kind of look at those kind of things the similar way I see when they come out with director's release cuts on the DVD. Mm-hmm. If you couldn't tell me the story right the first time, I don't want to. You don't get a second chance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let me see this real quick. Okay, so this game looks really pretty, if anything.
It's pretty. So like I was saying, it comes with this kind of toy apparatus. So you buy the toys, whatever. You can customize the guns. You can do one fire gun, one ice gun, one anti-gravity gun, one black hole gun.
Okay, and it looks like the centerpiece, the main mechanic is in your ship.
Yeah. And so you can, change the body, you can change the wings, you can change the guns, you can change the pilot. And each of them have different pros and cons, and each of them...
Oh, and you get to fight Zerter.
Yeah. So it's really cool, though, because, the minute... If you're in a battle, you can take the fire wing or fire thing off. Because let's say you're fighting a fire boss.
Right. You can switch into water gun.
Water, yeah, And say right like that, and it automatically appears as you're playing.
Okay. You see, here's the thing. I like this idea. It really does look pretty.
Yeah.
It really, honestly, and truly does look pretty. Mm-hmm. But I don't like the idea of buying an apparatus.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of that. Like,
well, that's
kind of what happens.
It's for kids.
It is for kids, but still, like, that's kind of like at some point, parents are going to get sick and tired of buying it for their kids, and like we already saw this happen. So
yeah,
let me see this real quick. So this is Anthem, by the way.
Okay, let's see.
This is the new trailer. They announced this at last year's E3.
Okay.
Look, you just basically get to be in a mech suit. Hold on a second here.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, jetpacks make any game 20 points cooler automatically.
Seriously.
Superhero landing! Okay. I am dead serious, by the way. If there isn't some sort of Iron Man related Easter egg in this game, then they fail.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like when we were being shown the Starlink, because I went in, they chose me to be on Starlink at first.
Yeah.
And then I kind of told them I didn't want to be on it because I wanted to be on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And so they moved me to Assassin's Creed, but they didn't tell us that Star Fox was going to be a part of it until
like 3 seconds in.
Yeah. Like when we started playing the game and all of a sudden, they started playing the game and all of a sudden Star Fox was playable.
Right. Okay.
And so that was exciting, but I'm sure they'll unveil some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the game comes out in October. I think there's PAX West coming out soon.
Yeah, PAX West in Seattle
PAX
at the end
West,
of August.
Yeah, and then there's got to be at least. I think and then we also got San Diego Comic-Con coming up soon, so they'll probably announce something there too. But yeah, so that was Anthem. In all honesty, like that trailer was really good, I think. But like,
yeah, it looked pretty cool. Like
I said though, like in all honesty, if they don't have something that's just Iron Man related, then they totally missed a great opportunity. Like I mean, what is it? Fortnite.
They did Thanos. Yeah.
Yeah, they did Thanos, which like. Why they did Thanos, I don't know, other than for the cross for that. But I mean, like, because what does Thanos have to do with Fortnite? Who cares?
Well, Fortnite is, we don't even know where Fortnite takes place. It could take place in the MCU.
It could, for all we know.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy if there was actually an island somewhere in the Pacific that people were just battling?
Just battling to the death?
Yeah.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be probably pretty cool to watch, though. I'm not going to lie. The way TV's going, I wouldn't doubt that happens.
Right, exactly.
Where it's like, all right, for $50 million.
And your life.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like, are you willing to maybe die for $50 million? Because at that point, it wouldn't be like you volunteered.
Yeah, exactly.
You signed the dotted line.
You signed the waiver.
Yeah, and you want to do it. So is it illegal? Is it illegal to let people try to kill each other? I don't know.
That's a whole other moral quandary we could get into.
But like what reality TV is, we're all killing our character.
Yeah.
Anybody who gets on reality TV, they're kind of selling themselves for very little money.
Exactly.
And kind of ending their own lives.
In some ways,
So why not just let them fight to death for $50 million? All
right, so we need to go find some third world country where we can get away with this.
Yeah, right.
And then start posting
Costa Rica,
and then start posting it on YouTube.
Yeah. What was the island that Jurassic Park is on?
It's off the coast of Costa Rica.
Yeah, but what was it called? It was like
they made it up entirely. I don't know.
But I used to know it. Oh, fuck. It's anyways.
All right, it doesn't matter now. So let's do this because we got to start closing this up soon. But how about this?
Yeah.
So based on since that you have all the insider information,
sure.
What would you say is? Let's just do a quick spitfire round. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say there was one other thing that's indie that I was excited for.
Okay, go.
Let me real quick. So there's this game called Mutant Football League that's coming out.
League.
It is anybody out there who has ever played Blitz?
Yeah. Okay.
Or NFL Blitz or NHL
MLB
Hits
Slugger.
or whatever. All those It's an arcade based, but instead of using those old ratings where it was like, you had a 4 out of 5 passing and a 3 out of 5 defense. Now it's like Madden, where it's like, Madden sucks now, by the way.
It does.
But now it's like, where it's like this guy's a 92. Or this guy's an 84 in blocking, and this guy's a 94 speed. So it's like that, and it works like blitz, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, and it's cheap. So just to add one indie game in there that I'm excited for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this then. Since that you had all the insight, you saw way more of what's going on there than I did.
Yeah.
What would you say is? Did you notice? Is there a trend that you noticed at the C3 that's been happening in the gaming industry that you feel needs to stop?
Well, I don't think that I feel needs to stop. I guess it would be pay for play, but that's as long as people buy it.
Yeah,
they're gonna keep.
They're
doing
gonna keep
it.
doing it.
Yeah,
I know. Like you mean pay to win?
Yeah, pay to win. Yeah, pay to win, not pay to play. I would say things that need to stop. Fat girls walking around with their bellies out at E3. That was definitely one thing. I mean, but I would say, I don't know what needs to stop. I'm a big fan of, I guess the word would be like video game progressivism, where I like the idea of things moving forward. There's a lot of VR happening.
Right.
And the VR is super cool.
Still haven't. I've yet to actually try a VR. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a little crazy.
Yeah, I hear it can be nauseating if you don't have the right kind of stomach for it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, people are not going to be leaving their houses in no time. They're just going to stay, and they're going to go, instead of a trip to Fiji, they're going to download a game to Fiji.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. A Fiji
whatever,
vacation
tycoon,
simulator.
Yeah. And like, but I don't know. I like maybe less battle royales.
Okay.
We need to think of
MOBAs.
Or MOBAs. I would say I like how we're going online. I like how we're like doing, everything's more online now. But
you know what? I'll actually agree with you though about the MOBA thing, and hear me out. Well, here's why: because first off, they just announced a new Gears of War game, which I'm excited about. They've also announced a new Halo game, which I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I feel like 343 has been dropping the ball ever since they got their hands on that property, one way or another.
Did they release? I didn't see the Microsoft or 343 booth.
They released a teaser, an announcement trailer, which it's just a sweeping view, a sweeping montage of like, hey, look, this is a landscape that belongs in a Halo game. Yeah. Hey, look, here's another landscape that belongs in a Halo game.
Yeah.
Hey, look, here's a picture of the Master Chief's leg holding his helmet, and then that was it.
You know what? I do know one thing that they should change for E3. They should give out Old Spice body spray to everybody that goes in that place, because I'll tell you, just a lot of people were not showering at that place.
So it's a lot of people that you can tell.
There's a good amount of stank going around that place.
Some people, the words just like
sweaty guys.
No, like the stereotype as like mom's basement.
Yeah,
kind of
like
the
Simpsons comic book guy.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. If I ever go to E3, I'm gonna cosplay as him.
You could.
I could, but no one would notice.
Worst booth ever.
Worst booth ever. Thank you. I will now be taking my Elder Scrolls 5 copy with the Funko figure.
Yeah, that would be funny to do. The guy that plays Peter Griffin cosplay was there. The one that's like...
He showed up?
Popular, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia showed up. Anderson Silva. I taught Anderson Silva how to play. Do you know who Anderson Silva is?
Name sounds familiar.
One of all-time greatest mixed martial artists ever.
Okay.
Most title defenses in history. Anyway, so yeah, it was a great time. So... But yeah, I guess let's just say battle royales need to stop.
Battle royales need to stop? Okay.
Even though I love them, but there's just too many now. Like H1Z1 fucking sucks.
And you know what? Here's my thing. It's like I'm honestly in a similar boat where I just think this whole sandbox trend needs to just slow down.
Yeah, the building and everything.
No, just like even like this whole, like all the GTA cloning basically is what I'm trying to get at. Like, don't get me wrong. Great games, most of them. Like, I love that. Just so in 2014, I purchased for my birthday. I got the new Fallout game, Fallout 4, the Tomb Raider game that came out that year, and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Also, Tomb Raider game came out at E3.
I'm looking forward to that. And don't get me wrong, all three of those games are really good. It's just, I also just finished playing Grand Theft Auto 5 around this time, and I also just finished playing the most recent Saints Row game that came out at that point. So, and then I beat the Tomb Raider game, and then I uploaded Fallout, and I was like, okay, this isn't bad. But the point I'm trying to get at is, like, by the time I got around to trying to play Metal Gear Solid 5, good game as it may have been, it's like I just was like, I am so sick and tired of open world games. It's just I just miss the old school, like, which is why I liked the most recent Doom game, which it just
also Bethesda coming out with a Doom and a Quake.
Okay, sweet. I'm looking forward to that.
How crazy is that? Bethesda's murdering it right
Bethesda is murdering it right now. Yeah.
They're killing.
Okay, what would you say is some kind of trend or something that you wish you saw more of in the gaming that just, like, seems to be on the rise, or, like, is just been, like, quietly hiding out in the background, just, like...
I don't know, maybe, I would say that team-based online experiences, because I think that pro gaming is getting super popular, and I'd like to see more games on a wider spectrum that you can be pro at, and I'd like to see some
more competitive. So
NBA 2K. Okay, so NBA 2K is the only one that does it right, where they have a create your own player that you then play online with, and you upgrade your player as you play people online.
Okay, you know what? I wish more sports games would do that.
I agree. There are no other sports games that do it.
I think, so when 2K was making baseball games, I think they tried that. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would play more sports games if they either, one, made a good game based around a sport that I like, as in, like you just said, Madden. I feel like the formula for Madden hasn't changed in like 30 years.
It's gotten
so predictable.
But like, dude, when you try to play someone in Madden online, it's impossible. There's hot routes and audibles and play changes and motion. It's gotten too crazy, where it's like, I just wanna try to run the ball past the guys and truck them over.
Right, exactly.
Or I just want to wait till the guy's open and pass it to him. I don't know, but I just hate Madden now. I just don't think it's very fun game.
Well, I was going to say, because my problem is and this might be another reason why I would get a PlayStation 4, is because there isn't a really good baseball game for the Xbox.
There isn't. No, they have RBI Baseball, but that's it.
Yeah, and I don't think that game's very... Because every year that game comes out around the same time as MLB The Show, and The Show always crushes.
RBI Baseball is a AAA developer, too. I don't know who it is. I'm pretty sure. But they're not like a big developer, where The Show is what?
That's like made in-house at PlayStation, pretty much. I think.
Yeah.
One of their I can't remember who it is exactly, but I think it's one of their in-house companies.
Yeah,
their developers.
But give me more RPG-based sports games. That's what I want.
You know what? That would actually get me to play. I think that would get more of like I don't want to say hardcore gamer, but the type of gamer that doesn't play sports games to play sports games more often.
Get good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Because what do you call it? Like, I think like more the quote unquote realistic fighting games, like UFC or Fight Night or whatever. Yeah. I think they do that too, where it's like as you progress through the game, you customize a character, and then as you progress through the game, he gets better. You can make him better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for the next 2K, big time.
Okay, alrighty, and real quick then, top 5 just things in general that you liked when you were at E3. Top
5 things. I liked all the pretty ladies.
Okay, that's always number one. That's
always number one. Bethesda's booth in general, completely fucking. They killed it. Yeah. They murdered Doom, Quake, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, the new Elder Scrolls, the Elder Scrolls phone game. Rage 2, they murdered it, so I would, put that as Bethesda. Then from there, Facebook gaming was pretty great. Honestly, Facebook gaming had some pretty exciting stuff, so I would say, even though we didn't talk about that, look into Facebook gaming.
Okay, you know what, and it's actually kind of amazing how many, this could be a whole nother podcast in general, but it is kind of amazing how, despite they're swept up in all this controversy, Facebook just seems to be chugging along.
Yeah. Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4. Okay.
Is going to be great. Super excited for that. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is my number. I think that's 4. And then number 5, I'm going to go with the Ubisoft booth.
The Ubisoft booth. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I was just so glad to be there. Such a good time. And
alrighty, yeah, and if you end up going to PAX West, we might have you back on the podcast then, report in on that.
Yeah, report on it.
Alrighty, and Tom, before we get going, do you have anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, listen to the Loudcast on iTunes, the Loudcast with Mark and Tom. We have Best Comics in LA on, interviewing them, and just having a good time talking about past experiences. And also check me out on Instagram, Fake Tom Whalen, at Fake Tom Whalen on all social media. YouTube, AGATS Company, AGATS Company for all my sketches and crazy shit. And, just Google me, I guess.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you.
And Tom, as always, thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you, Kyle. Always a pleasure, man.
Alrighty, yeah, and we'll get you back on the podcast again soon.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. That's going to do it for us this week. Bye.